How to create more joy, more peace, more profit. Hi there. This is Sharon Gist, and I am so honored to be here with you today. I met Nikki a couple of weeks ago and fell in love with her joyous nature filled with spirit. It feels a little odd to be speaking without interaction with you on this recording, but let's pretend we're in the same room, okay? Okay. So what's one thing you would like to take away from today? My intention is to stir you to want to have a longer conversation with me. If you're here, I imagine that you're a woman of faith who has built something meaningful. But lately, it might feel like it's not working the way it used to, or that you think it should be. You may be tired, overwhelmed, putting in so much energy with results that don't quite match. Can you relate? I see you. I've been you. This conversation is about transformation from the inside out. It's about reconnecting to your divine purpose and letting go of the pressure to prove or hustle your way forward. Let's start with a word from Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. You were never meant to do this alone. Let me tell you who I serve and why. I work with women entrepreneurs over 50 who have built something real. They've made it this far, but something has shifted. Maybe they're working too hard for too little return, feeling stuck or stagnant, questioning whether they even want to keep going. They're not lazy. They're tired. They're carrying too much on their own, and they're not failing. They're being refined. Here's a little about me. I'll be 80 years old in January. I've been around the block a few times. I've worn a lot of hats in my lifetime, and I've learned through experience what it takes to create the life we truly desire. When I was a teacher, I created pioneering education programs, including the first classes for severely disturbed children. I cared deeply, but I totally burned out. I planned to become a therapist for children, but realized I had too much anger and hatred in me to be very good at it. So I took a summer job typing on Wall Street to learn about this foreign world to me. And instead of going to grad school, I trained myself through persistence and asking questions to become an analyst. I was fascinated. I helped grow a company from $3 million to $17 billion, and then I burned out again. My body collapsed in an autoimmune disease. Although I burned out in two completely different careers, I could see I was the one common denominator. That's when I discovered my spiritual nature. Although it took me another 30 years to discover the grace of Jesus that changed everything. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was alone, pushing to do more. Instead, I've been becoming more, doing less, while living into the vision that God placed in my heart. I judged myself my whole life in the name of self-improvement. No matter what, I felt unworthy, not good enough. And then, grace. God met me right there. I learned to stop asking what's wrong with me and start asking, what is God trying to grow in me? I let go of shame. I stopped pretending I had to do it all alone or know what I didn't know. God's grace didn't just lift me up. It became the engine of my mission. My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. As a licensed professional counselor for 14 years, I helped women, children, and families recover from sexual abuse, trauma, and debilitating self-judgment. There was one family I worked with who had experienced satanic ritual abuse for 12 years before being moved to a step family. It took over a year to uncover the full scope of the trauma. And sadly, one of the boys continued the cycle of abuse with his young stepsister, despite warning to the mother. The little girl was frozen in time. She wouldn't talk. She wouldn't use the bathroom. She was emotionally stuck at 3 years old. Then one day, something miraculous happened. She came into my office and spoke clearly, articulating what happened with compassion. She drew a picture to show me what it felt like when her stepbrother touched her. She pointed to a tiny part of her drawing that said to me, "There's this little place inside me that he couldn't reach." I knew that I was okay, and I felt kind of sorry for him because he didn't have a safe place inside like that for himself. The final picture looked like a butterfly. Horrible things happen in this world. But I've learned that how we relate to the issue is the issue. We always have a choice to be broken or to become more whole, to collapse or to grow, to harden or to soften into love. So how does this relate to business? Because business is where so many of us confront our old beliefs, our worth, our safety, our ability to be seen and valued. We get to stand up to limiting beliefs rooted in childhood. We get to choose love and gratitude and seek the lesson in every challenge. I've learned that no matter how hard something appears, we have a choice in how we respond, who we become, and what we create. God always loves us. He extends grace to every situation. Residing in that love gives us the courage to be honest, to celebrate our gifts, and to transform old misinterpretations of reality into truth. As a transformational business coach, I am honored to help break through blocks that keep brilliant women from thriving, and I am honored to walk side by side with them. This journey is not always easy, but it is exhilarating. Let me tell you about a woman I worked with. She was exhausted. On paper, she had a business, but in her spirit, she was done. We cleared the inner stories that were bogging her down. We brought her back to the vision God had planted in her long ago. She stopped spinning and started flowing. Her business grew, but more than that, her joy came back. And I could have been that woman. I've been primarily caregiving for my 3 older sisters for the last 5 years. So I got away from business building, and some of those skills were not at my fingertips anymore. I made the decision that I wasn't done. Gratefully, I found the perfect mentors to help me refine 55 years of work experience. Before we get to breaking stagnation, I want to speak directly to you if you're an older woman entrepreneur. You see, many of us are not ready to sit back in a rocking chair. We love the idea of having a real business of our own, something that makes a difference, something that has an impact. But too often we feel invisible. People around us, or even that voice inside us, start to question whether we should still be pursuing big dreams. The world brings its own beliefs about aging and tries to place its limits on us. Let me give you 3 simple tips to handle naysayers and keep rising. Tip number 1, Don't internalize other people's limits. Their doubts say more about them than they do about you. God didn't give them your vision. He gave it to you. Tip number 2, surround yourself with people who believe in possibility. Find a community of women who are lifting each other up, not dragging each other down. Find the right mentor. I'm so grateful to have aligned myself in this community with the perfect mentors to help give birth to this vision. Tip number 3, speak life over your business and your future. Remind yourself daily, I am growing stronger, wiser, and more impactful with age. Speak what God sees in you. You don't need to prove yourself. You just need to align with the truth of who you are and what you're called to do. Frankly, a little secret I've discovered is that when our life is grounded in a state of love that is fueled by gratitude, we are already winning. We then align with our vision and faith in that vision, faith in ourselves, faith in God. We become unstoppable. Failure is not an option. Now, back to the core of our conversation. So how do we break the stagnation? The world says, hustle harder, work more. God says, abide in me. Most of the blocks I help women clear are internal. Procrastination that masks perfectionism or fear. People-pleasing that drains your energy. Judgment that says you are not worthy. You should be further by now. You're not good enough. But freedom isn't found in pushing. It's found in partnership with God. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Psalm 127:1. This is what the elevated entrepreneur pathway is all about. I help women clarify their God-given vision and faith to make it happen. Create a strategic plan rooted in their strengths and divine assignment. Focus on impact, income, and joy, not just busy work. And the results? Consistent revenue, reignited energy, clear purpose, $250,000 in revenue in 2 years or less without working more hours. And I guarantee that it happens, and it happens with less effort, not more. So let me leave you with this. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to connect with me. Let's have a real conversation about where you are now and where God might be calling you next. You can find the link to a conversation as my gift to you. Not a sales pitch, a sacred pause. You don't have to do this alone. You are not behind. You are being refined. May your next season be one of grace, alignment, and overflow. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I look forward to meeting with you personally to see what your next steps might be. I'm sending you infinite love and gratitude. God bless you. God bless us all. And by all means, do reach out to me. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was.